Welcome, I'm Russell Alexander. Today we're going to talk about child support during the pandemic. We did a podcast on this. It was our very first podcast where we talk about child support with Michelle Mulchin. That's just regular child support. What we're talking about today is what do we do about child support during this pandemic. If you like this video, please share it. You can comment, you can leave your questions at the bottom at the end of the video, and we'll try to answer everybody's questions. In terms of child support, one question we need to ask is, how is child support calculated? We recently did a podcast and a YouTube video on this particular topic. We look at child support during the pandemic. We spent about an hour going through child support issues. So that's one of the questions we asked. Other questions that we asked is, what do we do about business owners or payers who write off certain expenses in relation to child support? What do we do about child support payers who underreport their income, maybe lie about their income, or even have cash business? What do we do about child support obligations during COVID-19? We were recently interviewed by the Globe and Mail, and we predicted that the next big way in family law disputes are going to be support issues resulting from people losing their job in terms of staying home, being isolated, being laid off, there's no work. This is going to affect support payments, and there's going to be a lot of these claims coming before the courts. Support payers are suffering loss of income, and support obligations may become subject to a variation. The government has made great efforts to come out with programs to increase employment insurance to bridge the gap for people who are losing their incomes. The question we need to examine whether or not child support will be considered urgent, and whether or not the court's going to be prepared to deal with child support claims at this point in time. It's important, and it's going to be helpful to examine the current custody arrangement that you have with your partner, whether it's split custody, shared custody, sole custody. We need to consider whether there's a change in circumstances since the creation of the support obligations. Obviously, the pandemic is not anything that anybody anticipated coming 2-3 years ago. Typically, child support is adjusted each year in accordance with the payer's income. We need to consider whether there's set-off child support being paid in accordance with Section 9 of the Child Support Guidelines. We need to consider child budgets and other factors. Also, we need to take a look at whether or not there's hardship or intentional underemployment. How is the court going to be prepared to deal with hardship claims during the pandemic? We need to consider the basis of the child support. Is it voluntary? Is it court-ordered? Is it pursuant to domestic contract or separation agreement? With respect to the terms of the agreement, we need to consider when child support is agreed to be reviewed, whether the pandemic constitutes a material change to justify a variation in child support at this point in time. Each case is going to be fact-generated and may generate different results. In general, a general rule is that support payers pay child support in accordance with their income. So we need to take a look at support in a new light, make new arrangements directly with the support recipient if at all possible, consider mediation, contacting your lawyer, consider collaborative practice and settling cases outside of the court system. In our YouTube video and our podcast, we take a look at what collaborative practice is, and we explain that for you. Another question we're getting is, can I go to court to deal with support right now? Courts are open, but they're only dealing with urgent case conferences and urgent or emergency matters. We're going to give you a few examples of what is urgency, and whether or not child support would meet this test, and whether or not the court would be prepared to deal with child support claims at this time. Will there be a retroactive adjustment to child support when court returns to normal operations? We also need to consider the best interests of the children. Current trends as support orders are not being considered urgent. Variations may be brought at a later date. If the economy continues to worsen and non-essential businesses remain closed for an extended period of time, lawyers are going to see, and the court's going to see, increasing demands to address this escalating crisis in terms of support claims. We also need to be mindful of support recipients who are also experiencing financial challenges from the pandemic. At the end of the day, there's going to be no winners or losers. Both the support payers and support recipients, I think, will be equally unhappy. So take a look at our podcast, take a look at our YouTube video that's coming out online. We spend over an hour going through these issues. There's lots there. If you like this video, please share this video. There's a bell at the bottom. You can click that bell. You'll get subscribed to our future videos that we're releasing. There's a comment box below if you want to make a comment, or if you have a question about child support during the pandemic. Please leave your comment in the comment box below. I want you to thank you for watching this video today, and be safe.